Hi and welcome. I'm Mr. Krieger. Mirror, mirror on the wall. What are the top 10 vocabulary words students should know for the December 2025 SAT? Good question. Here's my answer. I recently posted a YouTube video titled SAT Vocabulary, The Big Three Words. The video identifies a shoe, engender, and abate as my top three picks for the December SAT. This video will add 10 more keywords to my list. So now we have a lucky 13 words. Let's take a look. Alvin Toffler published Future Shock in 1970. It quickly became a bestseller that sold 6 million copies. Although many of his predictions now seem outdated, Toffler's primary theme about the impact of overwhelming technological change now seems prescient or far-sighted. For example, Toffler correctly predicted an emerging society in which people would increasingly feel alone and alienated. I'm hoping that this video will provide a prescient forecast for the December 2025 SAT. I'd like to ask you a question. Would you describe yourself as a person who takes or avoids risks? Risk aversion is a tendency to favor definite outcomes over uncertain ones. It impacts decisions in areas such as financial investments, healthcare choices, and career opportunities. Well, that's interesting, but what does this have to do with the SAT? I'll tell you. In a recent study, researchers designed an experiment in which participants had to choose between winning nominal or token amounts of money or more substantial monetary rewards. As expected, risk-averse individuals preferred guaranteed nominal rewards over uncertain gambles. Note that nominal means small. It does not mean indeterminate or that which is not exactly known. This is one of my favorite pictures. The starting price of a new Ferrari SF90 is $640,000. Some argue that this is exorbitant or outrageously expensive, but others love the car's unmatched craftsmanship and performance. SAT test writers probably have limited interest in the exorbitant price of a Ferrari SF90. But they are very interested in how commuters might react to an unexpected and possibly exorbitant increase in tolls charged to motorists who use popular bridges, tunnels, and expressways. The November 2025 SAT marked the debut of incipient as a vocabulary in context question. The appearance of incipient caught me and my students by surprise. It shouldn't have. Incipient provides yet another example of a concept from AP biology that is appearing in difficult vocabulary in context questions. Charles Darwin, remember him, coined the term incipient species to describe plants and animals that are in the process of evolving into new species through natural selections. So, an incipient species is in the beginning or initial stages of evolution. Let's turn now to patents. A patent is an exclusive right guaranteed or granted by a government to an inventor. It gives the person or company the right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention for a specified time. According to conventional wisdom, the number of patents issued by a government is tantamount to the degree of innovation in a country. Now, tantamount means equivalent to. This seems to make sense. After all, patents provide a useful indicator of technological activity and economic progress. Well, not so fast, my friends. Not so fast. Some researchers argue that patents are in fact an imperfect measure that can actually belie or misrepresent a country's technological progress. For example, simply counting patents is imprecise because it doesn't account for the varying quality or importance of different patents. In addition, each country has its own patent standards, making direct cross-national comparisons difficult. Now, don't confuse belies with thwarts. Belies means to misrepresent. Thwarts is a currently frequently used wrong answer. It means to prevent someone from accomplishing something. Clandestine and surreptitious are classic SAT words that have recently appeared on the digital SAT. The two words are synonyms that both mean secret and hidden from the public. For example, the elite members of the Navy's SEAL Team 6 conduct surreptitious operations against terrorists. I don't expect to see SEAL Team 6 highlighted in a vocabulary and context question. Instead, be prepared to read about 19th century authors who adopted a clandestine approach to publishing by deliberately using pseudonyms. Also, be alert for a Cold War example in which political protesters in Eastern Europe surreptitiously distributed underground computer games they hoped would subvert the ruling Communist Party. Now, the word proliferation means to rapidly multiply, and I have a question for you. Which would concern you more? Nuclear proliferation or the possible proliferation of bacteria on the International Space Station? I would vote for nuclear proliferation. But SAT test writers seem much more interested in the possibility of bacterial proliferation on the International Space Station. Really, I'm not kidding. Recent tests have included a vocabulary in context question on this topic. 2,000 years ago, the Roman scholar Marcus Varro proposed that hexagons are the most efficient way to divide a plane into equal areas. Varro noted that bees instinctively use this shape in their honeycombs. Known as the honeycomb conjecture, Varro's hypothesis defied or resisted mathematical proof for 2,000 years. Finally, in 1999, Thomas C. Hales offered a mathematical proof confirming that regular hexagons are indeed the most efficient way to tile a plane with equal areas. Now, don't let the word defied confuse you. While it can mean resistance or rebellion, defied can also mean resistance in the sense of facing something that is very challenging. Let's turn now to our final word. The ancient Egyptians had a strong proclivity for using gold to create royal jewelry, thrones, and burial masks, like the iconic funeral mask of Pharaoh Tutankhamun. They believed the precious metal's resistance to tarnish and rust made it a perfect symbol of divinity, eternity, and immortality. SAT test writers may or may not share the ancient Egyptians' proclivity for gold, but they clearly have a proclivity for using challenging SAT words like the ones highlighted in this video. I'd like to thank you for watching this video. For more key vocabulary words, be sure to check out my book, Winning Words, on Amazon, and my Insider Test Prep site on Instagram. And stay tuned for more YouTube videos. Thank you again.